Welcome back. Over the past several years, a number of North American cities have experimented successfully with downtown renewal projects. Others have tried and failed. Here in Winnipeg, which is often described as the city of shopping malls, urban planners and developers are trying to counter the tendency of business people and residents to head for the suburbs. They started by totally rebuilding the north side of Portage Avenue in the downtown core.
It may be hard to fathom right now, but in less than a week, Portage Place, with 153 stores, will be open for business. Now, if you think the skylights and courtyards look a bit like Polo Park, you're right, but that's not where the similarities end. Both Portage Place and Polo Park are owned by the Cadillac Fairview Development Corporation, and most of the stores found in the one complex can be found in the other as well. Portage Place has 3 levels. The main floor includes an eating area with 12 food kiosks. On the second level, there is a seemingly endless array of stores and 2 skywalks to the south side of Portage Avenue. One connects with the bay and the other crosses Portage near Eaton's. If you're looking to be entertained, the third level is the place to go. In a week, you'll be able to buy some popcorn and settle back in one of 3 new cinemas, all with new high-back chairs and Dolby stereo sound. Or you can take in the new IMAX theater with its 5.5-story screen. Portage Place will offer underground parking for 1,000 cars at prices up to a maximum of $8 a day. The shop owners are hoping that the parking fee and the drive downtown won't discourage customers from pouring in from all parts of the city.
Cadillac Fairview expects it will take up to a year for Portage Place to fully establish itself in Winnipeg. But in the meantime, just about everybody in town thinks the development will succeed. David Walker is with the Institute of Urban Studies at the University of Winnipeg, and I talked with him a few days ago about Portage Place.
Mr. Walker, downtown rejuvenation has worked in a lot of towns, in Vancouver, in Toronto, in Baltimore particularly, in the U.S. Is it going to work here in Portage Place?
Well, I'm hopeful that it will this time. You know, this is actually the 4th start that the city of Winnipeg's had in the last 15 years. They tried around City Hall, very limited results. They tried down at Trizac, limited results. And they tried at Convention Center, limited results. So now they've had their 4th strike, if you will, so it's hopeful that this one will work a little bit better.
Why is the 4th strike likely, do you think, to be better?
Well, first of all, from my eye, it's a nicer scale. You know, if you look down Portage Avenue and it doesn't dominate the street, it sort of fits into the street. So I think that your eye is caught by it and not sort of overwhelmed as you are by the Trizac site. It won't create wind, so the streetscape could be quite nice. And I think with a combination of shopping and activities and the housing, which is going to be on stream next year or the year after, will make this quite a different type of complex than what we've seen in a while.
Will it overwhelm South Portage, which is very much now the poor sister or brother, depending on your point of view?
Well, I think in the short term it will, but there's a natural sort of downward slide that a city can go into, and South Portage is not going to escape that. There's no doubt in my mind that storefronts are going to be empty and so forth. So the question is, how quickly should the city move, and what sort of help should they give to these merchants? Now, having said that, historically, these merchants have sort of sat on their hands for a long time, and the city has a right to fight them right back for giving them too much at first.
Should the city, though, give help ultimately?
Oh, for sure, because you can't let what happened on North Portage will naturally happen on South Portage. It's governed by traffic and by investment, and if that doesn't come naturally, the place will deteriorate. And that's such a pivotal street in our city, one that we love very dearly, and you can't stand back and say, well, you guys deserve it, you didn't invest. You've got to step in and help them out before it gets to be too derelict, and it's very visually anyway.
By contrast with North Portage, South Portage right now is, as I said, very much the poor cousin. Will that be a factor, do you think, that will keep people away right now, the minute the place opens?
No, I don't think so. I think, first of all, there's a curiosity factor. And I think that you won't see South Portage falling apart immediately. A lot of the entrances through the rear, through the parking garages. The trick is to make sure people come out of that complex onto the street. The natural inclination in these totally enclosed developments, such as the Rideau Centre in Ottawa, is to go back to your car, go out the back door, and head home. But somehow or another, you've got to pull them back onto the street so people look like there's some activity, something they want to join into. You know, the second floor overpasses look after one problem, and it gives people there. But the price you pay is that the streetscape can be put on hold for too long. But I don't think I would get too overly anxious about it at this point. I think that it's a problem that we're coming on stream so late in the urban development process in North America that hopefully we can see what's happened elsewhere and learn a few lessons from it.
You raised another question. Are we too late? Maybe particularly in view of the enormous pull now in this town toward the south, toward the suburbs, and toward malls.
Well, it's going to be a market share, and it's going to be very, very competitive in the retail scene this fall. I think with Polo Park just being open, I guess, just over a year now, this one coming on before the Christmas season, I think you're going to find some of the smaller shopping centers being really caught. Maybe some independent in the city caught. The one area that I would worry about is the response of the Osmond Street merchants to this. I think that they are going to have a difficult time maintaining themselves on a regional basis and are more likely to evolve into a neighborhood. It's a good neighborhood, but a neighborhood shopping area rather than a regional one.
There is the question of access, particularly having to do with vehicular traffic. We've got enough space down here to accommodate all the cars that conceivably could be driving into the court.
Well, you sort of get caught. On the one hand, you want people to come down. On the other hand, even though Winnipeg has a fair transportation system, people use their cars. It's that sort of city. And I think that the real pressure point will not be Portage, which is designed for heavy traffic, and people accept it. The real question will be on Ellis and the back streets and see what happens there. And whether or not the transit system can respond. There's been long-standing discussions in the city about having a mall, a monorail going up and down Portage Avenue. Perhaps that's what we have to get back into, redesigning our transit system.
We have got then some unanswered questions here, but I take it you don't think too many.
Well, I've been a very real critic of city development, but I think this time they have a scale and they have brought in all the actors and they've looked at most of the angles, and I'm at least going to give them a chance for the first couple of years and say good luck, and I hope you've made good use of our money.
All right, on the Bo Derek scale, 1 to 10, where does this one sit right now?
I think this sits at a 7-8. I think we're going to have good fun with it.
Mr. Walker, thank you for coming in.
Okay, thank you.